Good morning, Believe Nation. Today we're going to talk about how to change your mindset. Rule number 1 is my personal favorite. I make sure to stick around all the way to the end for some special bonus clips and my perspective. And as always, if somebody says something that really is meaningful to you, please leave in the comments below, put quotes around it so other people can be inspired as well. Enjoy.
A lot of you, for real, you're not where you want to be. You thinking of negative stuff. You talking negativity, right? You in that negative zone. You feeding off of negativity. You talking to negative people. You watching negative stuff. And I need you to do me a favor. I need you to know that in order for you to get to that next level, you got to change your thinking. Like, for real, you don't need no money. You don't need no stuff. The one thing you need to do to go where you've never gone before, to have what you've never had before, is to change the way you think.
How many of you ever decided not to do something based upon an assumption? Raise your hands, please. And so that's why it's important for us to be strategic and experiential and being able to tell the story to distract them from their current story, distract, dispute, break down the limited belief system, and inspire them to say yes to a new opportunity in their lives. And so as a result, I didn't do what I'm doing now, because I had such a tremendous inferiority complex because of my lack of college education. I stopped myself. There's an African proverb that says there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm. And so as you look at yourself, as you look at your goals, look at your dreams, it's very important that you take time every day and write this down to retrain your thinking. You got to retrain your thinking. Because how we live our lives is a result of the story that we bought into. I had to retrain my thinking because of what I saw. Studies indicating that the decisions we make in life is directly related to the things that we saw, the things that we experienced, the conversations we've been exposed to between age 0 and 5. And so as a result of that, my experience, I had to begin to engage in a process of retraining my mindset. And I didn't even know what I was doing. But this man, Mr. Swiderski, I'll never forget. Leslie, come in here. Yes, sir. Look at my shoes. You can shine them better than this. I do apologize, sir. I'll do a better job. And his wife said, please don't yell at him like that. That's not nice. He's just a kid. He's only 10 years old. He should do a better job than that. He can. I said, it's okay, Mrs. Swiderski. And he should have yelled at me. He was a very rude, arrogant guy, but he was a kind guy too. What I loved about him, every day he had a routine. It was his time in the morning he spent working on his mind. And I wanted to be in the office as he was shining his shoes, listening to Earl Nightingale. All of us are self-made, but only the successful will admit it. Listening to Dr. Dennis Waitley, people form habits and habits create futures. Listening to Zig Ziglar, if you give enough people what they want, they will give you what you want. Listening to Jim Rohn, when the end comes for you, let it find you conquering a new mountain, not sliding down an old one. Listening and reading the words of Winston Churchill, the truth is incontrovertible. Malice may attack it, ignorance may deride it, but at the end, there it is. Reading from my favorite book, Be Not Conformed to This World, Be Transformed by the Renewing of Your Mind. Listening to these words help to create a different vision for myself. Some of you are already doing it right now. I'm saying this is a time more than ever that you want to begin to inoculate yourself with positive words, coming to conventions, showing up on meetings, being on the calls, to make yourself unstoppable, to get out of your mind the polluting negative thoughts that's causing most people to go through life being stuck because they're volunteer victims. Somebody said that many people die at age 25 and don't get buried until they're 65 because they got so much garbage in their minds. You are here because you've got a clear vision of what you want and where you're going. Give yourselves a round of applause. Come on, bring your energy level up. Yes. Yes. You want more. You want more. You're different. You're different than everybody else. Don't worry if they don't get it. Don't try and convince people to do this business. A person convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. You are not like everybody else. You can walk outside and find pigeons, but if you're looking for eagles, it's going to take you a minute. You are different. It's lonely at the top. How many of you know it's lonely at the top? Raise your hands. It's lonely at the top, but you eat better. That's what I'm talking about. You're different. One great entrepreneur said, I choose not to be a common man. It's my right to be uncommon if I can. I seek opportunity, not security. I do not wish to be a kept citizen, humbled and dulled by having the state look after me. I want to take the calculated risk, to dream and to build, to fail and to succeed. I refuse to live from hand to mouth. I prefer the challenges of life to the guaranteed existence, the thrill of fulfillment to the still calm of utopia. I will never cower before any master, nor bend to any threat. It's my heritage to stand erect, proud and unafraid, to face the world boldly and say, this I have done. You showed up because you're building a business that you can stand and say, I did this. I did this. This is my dream. Give yourselves a round of applause. Yes, 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 yes.
Here's a very simple thing you can do to reprogram your mind. Create a sheet of 2 simple things, very simple things. I want you to write 5 questions down that you're going to ask yourself 3 or 4 times a day. 5 questions that are positive for yourself. That every day, you're going to wake up in the morning, you're going to read these questions to yourself, you're going to answer them. You're going to read them, you're going to answer them. Every morning. Then at lunch, read the questions, answer them. At night, read the questions, answer them. These can be questions like, what can I feel incredibly grateful for right now? How could I surprise or flirt with somebody right now? How could I have fun right now? Positive things like that, right? How could I demonstrate love or excellence right now? Ask these questions in the morning. Ask them in the afternoon. Ask them at night. By asking these positive questions over and over, I mean, you just do this for 30 days, you're gonna recognize a total shift in your life. Just simple questions, but you're giving them weight by focusing on them 3 times during the day. You're having duration by focusing on it 3 times during a day over 30 days. Your mind starts to reshift its gears to give automatic ease to answering those questions and living in that mindset versus an undirected, unconscious mindset. Second thing on that sheet, or those things you can do, 5 questions first. Second thing I want you to do is come up with 3 words that describe your ideal self. Just 3 words. You know, mine are, for example, present, excited, and bold. So I'm gonna focus on those questions 3 times a day as well. What I do is I put them on my iPhone and they come up as an alarm 3 different times during the day. Just my phone buzzes and those words are there. I'm like, oh right, I'm that guy. I gotta focus on being that guy versus whatever I might be in a bad mood. I'm like, you know, completely detached. And then I look, I'm like, dude, no, I'm an excited person. Break that thought, get back into this, got it. This is who I am. And now that might sound so simpy. It sounds so simple, but guess what? People won't do the discipline. They are so frustrated with their mind because they haven't done the conscious discipline to reprogram it.
Here's what I've created for my life, and anyone I know succeeded. I'm a 17-year-old kid from Azusa, California, with no real education other than self-education, with no background, with parents that did their best, all of them, with no money, but I did one thing. I love people, and I had an enormous demand I made upon myself, and I sculpted my mind and my emotions to get me to do whatever it would take to achieve and to contribute. But to do that, I did it by using my body and changing my focus. I did it by putting myself in a peak physiology and using what I call incantations. Can you train yourself to believe something, yes or no? Absolutely. How many of you ever made the fatal mistake of going to Disneyland or Disney World, and while you're there made the fatal mistake of going to a ride called It's a Small World After All? What happens for about a week after you're out of that damn place? You're still singing this thing in your head in 24 languages, right? Well, let me tell you something. How many of you have things when you want to go achieve them and this part of your voice goes, oh, it's not going to happen, or forget it? I'm gonna got a voice that sometimes interrupts that good pattern. Say I. And what you want to do is train a new one. So starting when I was 17, I started doing incantations, not affirmations. Affirmation, you go, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy. What's the problem? You haven't changed your what? Your what? Physiology. If you don't change your physiology, you won't get anything. So in incantations, not only you speak it, but you embody what you're saying with all the intensity you can. And you do it with enough repetitions that it sticks in your head. Like It's a Small World, now the conversation in your head is always the same and it gives you what you want. So you use your body and your voice. So 17 years ago, I started doing things. I was working for Jim Rohn, this speaker, and I was 17 years old. I had long hair, minestrone soup, acne on my face. And I was trying to call on Bear Stearns type of people and convince them why they should go to this man's seminar and be more successful. I was driving a 1968 Volkswagen that I had earned at $40 a week as a janitor. The only way I did it was park far from the building and then go in, and I love people and I believe, but I put myself in state and I was able to influence people that were far more successful than I was at the time. I would do something that I still do backstage and have done for 23 years because I don't hope I'm going to be in a good state, I demand it. So I do an incantation using my whole body. I'd say, I now command my subconscious mind to direct me in helping as many people as possible alive today to better their lives by giving me the strength, the emotion, the persuasion, the humor, the brevity, whatever it takes to show these people and get these people to change their lives now. And I would do that literally driving in my Volkswagen to a meeting in LA on the freeway for 40 minutes. People are looking at me, I'm screaming at the top of my lungs. They're going, I know he's a serial killer, I know he is. But by the time I entered that room, when two people meet, if there's rapport, the person who's most certain will always influence the other person. And I was totally certain, and they were trying to get revved up to certainty. Do you agree with this? Yes or no? I do another one because I was poor. I changed my mindset. I kept doing things, but I never got beyond it. I'd say God's wealth is circulating in my life. His wealth flows to me in avalanches of abundance. All my needs, desires, and goals are met instantaneously by infinite intelligence, for I'm one with God and God is everything. And I would imagine the abundance of my life, and I would feel so grateful. And a year later, I went from making $38,000 a year to making $1 million a year in 1 year.
Do things that make you feel good about yourself. So even if it's cleaning your house, even if it's organizing your closet. I had a mentor once and he said, Drew, at any time that you wanted to travel, if you can go in your closet and pack within 10 minutes, then you're set up to travel. And I'm a firm believer in this. I've always had a really clean house. And the reason for that is it's all about your mindset. Your reality, what you're looking at right now, if you're watching this from your computer and you were to look around your house and there's dishes in the sink and there's clothes in your closet that are just thrown on the floor, your bed's not made, whatever it is, that's a reflection of your own mindset. If you can clean that space, your mindset will start to open up and be cleaner as well. So I want to challenge you in this Mindset Monday to start to clean your internal space of where you live. If it's bringing in some plants, I have tons of plants in my house, or doing something nice for the environment you live in to change your vibration, I want to encourage you to do that.
Final one is when you cut this off, I want you to go look yourself in the mirror and I want you to vow to be amazing. I want you to vow that no more excuses. Like from this day forward, I'm not just going to be listening to E.T. I'm not just going to be getting pumped up. I'm not just going to be fired up. When I finish listening to E.T., I'm about to start applying. Because listen to me very closely. The difference between people who talk about it and people who do it is one simple word, application. They hear it and they don't just hear it, they digest it. And when they digest it, boom, they do something with it. So what would amazing look like? What would amazing look like to you? And why haven't you reached amazing? And finally, make a commitment to yourself today. Vow to yourself today that you will make whatever sacrifice, that you would pay whatever it takes, that you would do whatever you have to do to be amazing.
So for me, I believe that the mindset, if you want to change your mindset, a big reason is changing your environment. I think your environment helps create the mindset that you're in. I think when you grow up, you get your beliefs from your parents. You get your mindset from your parents. That environment, your parents, your friends, your family, the people around you, they help give you a lot of the beliefs that make up who you are. You know, believe comes from my parents. They always told me that I was a Castrilli Carmichael and I could do anything that I wanted, and I always believed in myself that I could. That's where we get it from at the start. Somewhere along the line, you may have bigger aspirations for yourself. You may want to change something. You may want to reach for bigger dreams than what the people around you are doing. And that's where the mindset that you grew up with may be incomplete, may not be allowing you to get to where you need to go. If you want to have a lot of success as an entrepreneur, and maybe your parents are career employees, they're giving you an employee mindset. They love you, they want you to be successful, but they're giving you an employee mindset, and you need to be able to break free of that to go and chase what you really want to do. At some point, we need to break free of the cocoon that our parents and our family built for us, that kept us safe and warm and allowed us to grow. That if we want to continue to grow and find our own path, we have to break free of that. And so the new environment that you create for yourself will help you shape and determine the new mindsets that you take on. So as an example, reading books, right? I hope my book back there helps change your mindset. I hope the videos that I make helps change your mindset. I've learned so much from watching these famous entrepreneurs and athletes and singers, musicians, inventors, politicians. I've learned a lot from what made them successful. And every time I watch another Top 10 Rules video or another Mentor Me video or another one of the videos that we're putting up on the channel, it maybe puts something new on my radar that, that's interesting. I haven't thought about it that way. And starts to form new thought processes. Or two, reinforces what I already know and want to be like. Where maybe I look to my environment, the people around me, and nobody else is thinking on that level. And so it's easy for me to shrink back down to the people who are immediately around me and say, okay, I'm just gonna be like them. But what I find is with these famous entrepreneurs, they pull me up to their level. And so to keep that mindset, I need to keep hanging around them. I need to keep making the videos. I need to keep watching them and consuming them. And so for me, it's videos, maybe it's books, maybe it's going to conferences, just having something in your environment that once you understand what it is that you want to go out and accomplish, that big goal, that big dream that you have, does your current environment match what you're trying to do? And probably it's a no. And so by changing your environment, it'll help change and reinforce the mindset that you need to have to reach those big goals that you do have. So that's my take. I'd love to know, what do you think? What was your favorite clip? What did you learn from this? Leave it down in the comments below. Super curious to get your feedback. I made this video because Guillaume Attard, I hope I pronounced that okay, asked me to. So if there's a topic you'd like me to cover on the next edition of Believe Life, please leave it down in the comments below and I'll see what I can do. Finally, I want to give a quick shout out to Devon Treesh. Devon, thank you so much for picking up a copy of my book. It really means a lot to me. I love that Facebook photo that you posted. Thank you for the support, man. And I hope you enjoy the book. So thank you guys so much for watching. I believe in you. I hope you continue to believe in yourself and whatever your one word is. Much love. I'll see you soon.
The reason that most people don't achieve their goals is because they are thinking like everybody else. 16 revolutionary words. Be ye not conformed to this world. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. That's an ongoing process. What are your goals? What are your dreams? Earl Nightingale was right. You don't get in life what you want. You get in life what you are. And so you want to take the time every day to listen to things that can help to program your mind positively, because at the end of the day, if you don't program your mind, it's going to be programmed. Trust me, it's going to be bombarded with all kind of head trash, commercials. I was at a service station pumping gas and a commercial came up. I mean, you get on the elevator and commercials are there. You look at billboards, their messages is coming in, over 5,000, 10,000 messages on a regular basis. And so as you look at your goals and dreams, it's very important that you are intentional about controlling what goes on in your mind, because everything gets in through the eyes and through the ears. So, what do you want? What do you want for yourself? What I'm doing right now, I didn't do it for 14 years. You know why? Because I was suffering from possibility blindness. Have you thought about doing something and you looked at what you wanted to do and your heart said, I could do that. And then your mind asked, how? And then you start thinking, well, I can't do that. I don't have a college education. I can't do that. I don't have an MBA or a PhD. I can't do that. I've never worked for a major corporation. Why would corporations reach over people with PhDs and MBAs and years of experience and pay me to come in to do something I've never done? I thought about doing this for years, and I talked myself out of it. There's an African proverb that says, if there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm. Shakespeare says, therefore, dear Brutus, it's not in our stars, but in ourselves that we are underlings. And so as you look at yourself and look at your goals and look at your dreams, I'm saying to you that it's possible. Because if anybody at any point in time had a goal, had a dream of what they wanted to achieve, and they made it happen, then it's possible that you can do it too. But you've got to be intentional about programming your mind.
It's no poetic saying that you become what you think about and that the world is your mirror. We are literally creating our world through the thoughts that we harbor. And it begins in how our body responds to the things that we think about. And if you think depressive things, your body, your energy becomes depressed, right? If you're thinking negative things, can you smile and laugh and tell jokes and go run around in circles with children and play and dance? Right? You can't do it because you've got depressive thoughts. And if you're really excited, can you help yourself? Like if someone tells you you need to sit down and shut up and bottle it all in, but you're like, it's the night before Christmas, like a little kid. Tell a little kid to sit down during like Christmas, like put Christmas presents or presents, birthday presents in front of them and say, sit there. They can't help it, the excitement's gonna burst out. So your body responds to your thoughts. What's going on is gonna show up in your body. So, and this is just my reiteration of the fact that the body is the mind, and we begin with the body. So now, how do we control the thoughts coming in and out of our heads? Negative thoughts that you are now a victim of, right? Because the thoughts are victimizing you. They come in like a virus, and they take over, just like any other pathogen, right? Right? You get a stomach bug, and it gets in you, and that's it. You're until you take some medicine to get it out. Well, thoughts are an interesting thing because like I alluded to before, we have to entertain them in order for them to have any power. Now, consider this term entertain. Someone comes to your door, right? Your mom, you haven't seen your mom in a very long time, or an old friend comes to the door, your old friend comes to the door, and you invite him into your house, and now what do? You entertain. You offer energy in his direction. Hey, would you like something to drink? Sure. Hey, have a seat. This is my favorite chair. I'd like you to try it out. Hey, check it out when you lean it back. Do you see how comfortable that is? Oh, I'll call my wife. Colleen, some of that dip that you made last night, do you have any of that left? We'd like to entertain our friend with some nourishing food. Hey, what kind of movies do you like? I've got a whole DVD collection. People don't have DVD collections anymore. We got Netflix and Hulu. Have you seen that movie yet? Let's sit down and watch it. By the way, let's have a beer while we watch it. That's entertaining someone who comes into your home, a friendly person who you'd like to have around for a while and allow them to grow roots for a moment. There are certain thoughts that make their way into the home of your consciousness. They knock on the door. Your first choice is to either let them in. I mean, before entertaining, you gotta let it in. Let the thoughts in or close the door. Slam the door shut. Okay? The way that looks is, I get negative thoughts. Elliot Hulse gets negative thoughts. Negative shit comes into my mind. Sometimes the weirdest things. It's like, I really don't know why this keeps popping up. Here's one. I keep having this one. That I'm gonna get into a car accident. I don't know why, it's a new one. But I keep thinking that I'm not gonna be paying attention when I'm driving and my car is gonna demolished. For whatever reason, that keeps knocking on my door. Maybe I should pay attention to it. I wear my seatbelt, right? Maybe that's what it is, it's a warning. Put on your seatbelt and don't check your phone while you're driving. Take heed. But I don't let it in such that I start obsessing over car accidents and I become a nervous wreck while I'm driving. I don't start watching videos about car wrecks. And when the news, on the news when there is a car accident, I start, oh, that could have been me. I don't entertain the thought. I don't go home and start talking about car wrecks and potentials for dying in a car accident with my wife and my friends. Because I'm not entertaining the thought. He came to the door, I peeked, I said, oh shit, and I walked away. He goes away. Now sometimes, oftentimes, because I attract them, beautiful thoughts come in, like goals I'd like to achieve. You know what I'd like one day? Not because I need it, not because I'm greedy, not for anything, but the fact that I know I can do it. I want one of those Mercedes G-Classes. It's a six-figure car. It looks like a Jeep. Now, I don't have to have this thing. I'm not gonna make myself neurotic, but it's a nice thought that when it comes to my window, I say, ha, come on in. And I look at pictures, and I go on the internet, and I see how much it costs, and I drive by the Mercedes dealership, and I see it in there, and one day I might go in there, and I might sit in it. I say, look, sir, I can't afford one of these, but boy, I'd like to sit in it, because I'm entertaining the thought. And guess what? I'm smiling. My body feels good. I'm receptive to it. Watch my videos long enough. I'll tell you when I have it. And I won't have to break my ass for it, because it happens just by entertaining it, moving with it, adding energy to it. In the same way, you've chosen with the negative thoughts, the depressive thoughts. What you've got to understand, my friends, is that you are completely empowered. You have all the control. You are driving. You're in the driver's seat. You have your hands on the steering wheel of the thoughts you decide to harbor. It's your choice. Negative thoughts are going to knock at your door, but you're letting them in and giving them chips and dip. They're going to come. They're going to come to all of us. They come to me. Peek, recognize, if it's a warning, just be aware, and then move on.